Oh
Don't
yeah,
don't
don't give me a
encourage this
spotlight.
shit. It's fine. Go ahead. I'm fucking with you. I'm gonna tell you a story. I want to hear it now because I want to make fun of it.
All right.
Yes, let's turn this into a public humiliation, okay?
Yeah,
That's
like
the way we work around here.
Let me know when we get live because I want to start off. I want to start off by saying. I want to start off by saying I like Ashtray and I like his father. I've met him twice. Three
That's
times.
true.
3 times.
What?
Twice.
What, you
Why
been
is it every
fucking
time I'm
his
in town,
dad
your
on the
father's in-
side or what? How are you meeting
No,
his
every
dad
time-
so many times?
Right?
Why? Because he keeps coming to bang my mom.
That Ashtray was.
Thank you, Ashtray. Way to go. buddy.
No, well, it was your family or your in-laws were in Dubuque,
Yeah, we're in Dubuque. Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I forgot about that.
and Dubuque was like, it was like the big city for where I grew up. So,
Yeah, big city. I mean, it was a cool city. I mean, the
it's
inside.
a cool old town because it's
Yeah, the cool old
old
town.
as
Yeah.
fuck, right on the Mississippi. But yeah, we watched. This is back when Wisconsin went to the Final Four.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause we were at that bar. We were at that bar, and I walk in and I'm like, who's going for it? Like the whole bar was going for one team. I'm like, let's go, purple team.
Yeah, and it was like you and one
That was
other guy were the only black guys there, and you're like, hey, look, we're the only black guys here.
The only 2 brothers here, dog. You got my back. He was like 7'2" also. I'm like, I'm a short cat. He was like 7'2". I'm like,
bad story.
it was like, I got your
Yeah,
back. You got
wait
my
a
back. Go ahead.
second. What
Where's
the
the
fuck?
story
We're
at?
supposed to be talking about
Yeah,
Mount
Ted-
Rushmore, dude.
Mount Mushroom.
Look, I was
Yeah.
reminiscing about hanging out with y'all. All right,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teddy, we get it.
Oh,
We
wait
get it.
till I come to Rhode Island, bro. We partying.
Shut up,
Oh, yeah, right.
please.
Carolyn is gonna regret it. Are we
Right.
live now?
Yes, we're fucking live. We're waiting for your fucking
It's live
story.
for fucking 3 minutes, dude.
So,
Waiting on you.
well, all right. In Mount Rushmore, we're camping at a campsite nearby, and we're like, let's go check out Mount Rushmore at night. They're supposed to light it up, right? You know, and like launch fireworks. It's kind of part of the show. So we're driving, and we were like, we don't want to pay to go into the like viewing area. Proper.
Is this like a
And,
special holiday or something, or?
this is just me and my dad were on a like
Well,
a
no,
road trip.
I mean, no. You said they light up Mount Rushmore and shoot off fireworks and shit as part of the show. I mean, is that every night or they do it on holidays?
I don't know if it's every night or just the weekends, but like it is
okay.
part of like when you pay to go in at night, and like they kind of have this little like fireworks ceremony and then turn the floodlights on.
Yes,
And
music of fire pressers.
we get out, we're driving and we find one of these little, turn off spaces from the road that's winding through the fucking mountains, and I had one of those big spotlights used to flash deer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's gotta be around here somewhere. Like, I think this is one of those places you can pull off to look for it. So we're shining this big spotlight up. We're like, oh, where's it? All of a sudden, it's like, boom, there's the fucking side of George Washington's head. It's like, there he is. And some other couple that had parked there too was like, hey man, you might want to shut that off because the park rangers are gonna be definitely looking for you, because they're waiting for, basically everyone is sitting there in the who paid to go in is waiting for the lights and the fireworks, and this spotlight is coming through. Yeah, and we shine on the side of George Washington's head, and then this guy's like, yeah, they light it up every night at this time. So like that's what everybody's waiting for, and you're the one flashing some strobe light up there, lighting up the side of George Washington's head. So I was like, all right, cheese it, get out of here. That was my
let the other nice white couple take the fall.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
set them
I'm
up.
telling you, man.
Fucking leave it in their car.
These fucking crazy drifters with a spotlight. I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
right?
that's what it was.
Two bald riffraff guys with glasses.
All right. So,
Cool.
that didn't have anything to do with quarantines. Welcome to the Red Eye Report. We are right on schedule. I did not write an intro, so
Boom! It's spreading. It's
Yeah,
spreading.
it's spreading.
Just let it flow, baby. Just let it flow.
it's
That's right.
trapped in the quarantine zone. Tonight with us, we have Ashtray. You better be careful because he's got terrible, long-winded stories that are highly contagious. So you don't want to be trapped in a quarantine with him.
You'll start trying to repeat them, and you'll forget where you went.
No, you'll be trying to repeat them and you kill yourself. That's what happens.
We have
Did you
Teddy.
double eyebrow raise the camera.
Yeah.
Ashtray.
I did.
Nice. Nice.
Fucking Christ.
We have Teddy, who
Thanks for noticing.
tries to convince white people to kill themselves. So watch out for him. You want to be.
Who told you my secrets, you son of a bitch? Damn it! Now my plan's fucking scrapped. I gotta
Just one white boy at a time.
Hey man, reparations, bro. Some niggas want money. I just want revenge.
I want heads.
We've got Mystic, who is not on the camera feed. He's actually he's plotting to move to Rhode Island and establish his own gravitational pull microcosm colony.
I'm fat.
Is that kind of like your intestinal microbiome or what?
It was for something early. We were talking about something earlier.
No,
when
we were talking about the close proximity of Rhode Island.
Of Rhode Islanders and how they're miniature people and how it'd be like Gulliver's Travels. And we've got me
stuck in my gravitational.
And I'm in this Irish pub in front of this really attractive looking Guinness glass here.
First off, Guinness tastes like shit.
Yeah, it does. I'd never drink Guinness.
What?
I think it's dude, Guinness?
I
Tastes like
fucking love Guinness.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I love dark fucking shit like that.
dude, it's like alcohol and chocolate milk. It's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it is delicious, dude.
I don't consider it terrible because I'm an alcoholic. But yeah, usually
I love dark.
I can only do about one before I'm like, ugh.
Oh,
If you like
man.
Guinness, Mystic, if you ever come down here, bro, I got some good beers for you to try.
Right on. I love that dark fucking shit.
Do you? Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a list of beers you should look
I
for.
am not a dark beer person.
But
Dude, I only
Guinness
drink
is a dark
cider.
beer.
So.
Yeah, Guinness
Yeah,
is
no.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Anyway, so we're talking about
Just
quarantines,
It was
and of course, coronavirus is in the air. And right now, the largest quarantine in human history is in place in Wuhan,
Really?
central
Really?
China.
Yep. Wuhan,
Largest-
China.
All
So
right,
the-
I'm a little scared now.
The
Only
Chinese
in China,
government,
though, can they set those
Right.
kind of records.
right? Well, this is the
I mean,
thing.
yeah, so many fucking people.
So the Chinese government has placed the city and a dozen others in lockdown, in effect quarantining an estimated 56 million people.
Yeah.
Holy fuckballs.
Yeah. Right.
Nuke them.
How
They
many
gotta
people
turn
live in
into
New York
zombies.
City?
I don't
Anybody
know.
knows that's top their head.
56
12 million.
Yeah. So you need to kind of take that into context. China fucking
that's
goes
huge.
big like every time with their population. So,
Go big or go home.
right. So
That's literally like 5 times the size of New York.
yeah. So it's a big area, and we're going to talk about the quarantine in Wuhan and kind of what that looks like. But I thought it was kind of interesting, just quarantines in general.
Jesus, yeah. Los Angeles is 4 million. Sorry to interrupt, but
Right. Yeah, the size of cities in China is, I think Beijing something like 21 million.
I think it's more than that, wasn't it?
Maybe.
No-
I don't know. It's
no
hard to
wonder
know.
they
I
stole
want to say
your-
there's cities that have like 30-some million in China.
Yeah, probably.
Damn.
no wonder
I
they
know
stole your toilet
Tokyo's
brush.
like 28.
Yeah, that's
Is
a
it really?
big fucking
Yeah,
city.
20 something, 24, 28. Something like that.
All right, so the history of quarantines. In the 1370, we had the bubonic plague in Venice, and that killed 20 million Europeans.
Way to go.
Yeah. Venice, a major trade port.
We have to think too of how few people there were on the
Oh,
earth
yeah.
compared.
It absolutely devastated the population of Europe and the world at that time. I think it was like a third of the population or something like that. So Venice, which was a major trade port, they were nervous about this plague for good reason. And if a ship was suspected of harboring plague, it had to wait 40 days before any passengers or goods could come ashore. So Venice built a hospital/quarantine center on an island off its coast where sailors from plague-infested ships were sent either to get better or more likely to die. This 40-day waiting period became known as quarantinario, from the Italian word for 40. As opinions about the disease changed, the isolation period shrank to trentinario, 30 days, but the original name stuck. So that's where the name quarantine actually comes from. It's from that original bubonic plague, waiting for 40 days on an island off the shore of Venice. So there have been, here are some other notable quarantines that have taken place. This is from an NPR article that they recently came out with. So there was the yellow fever in Philadelphia, 1793. Almost 5,000 people died over the course of 2 years, about a tenth of the city's population. So thousands fled for the countryside, and at the height of the epidemic, nearly 100 people were dying every day, and the city government collapsed. Philadelphia was the capital of the country, but the federal government evacuated rather than face the scourge. The best-known cure at the time was to bleed patients of infected blood and give them wine.
Oh, and wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, yes.
Take all their blood and then dehydrate the living fuck out of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a popular theory on stopping the disease was to quarantine sailors at the Lazaretto, a hospital outside the city, but the disease is spread through mosquitoes, so quarantine was not as effective as the cold snap that eventually killed the insects.
And think too, back then they
just had to lock themselves inside.
They didn't have the concept of germs really, let alone that mosquitoes would carry them.
Well, isn't that like the whole point of the bubonic plague was that if people just started washing their hands, the shit would have stopped. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there's shit in the streets and shit, like rats are fucking.
Yeah. But when you don't have plumbing, that's one of those things. That's why plumbing's important. So you wash your fucking hands.
Yeah.
And so some of these
out our plumbing episode.
and plagues.
That shit was still boring as hell.
They actually have caused some significant kind of instances in the United States where immigrants weren't allowed. It incited racism and things like that. So in the bubonic plague in San Francisco, 1900, city authorities strung rope and barbed wire around a 12-square block section of Chinatown after allowing all Caucasian residents to leave. The cause, fear of bubonic plague.
The white folks is clean. Them cats with them eyes over there, don't let them out.
Yeah. Right. Fear of the bubonic plague after a Chinese immigrant was found dead in a hotel basement. So one immigrant. The quarantine was lifted after a few days, but not before countless Chinese laborers had lost their jobs.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, this bubonic bluff, as it became known in the press, prompted ugly discussion never put into action about mass deportation of Chinese immigrants. So, that one wasn't so good. Typhoid Mary, I think we've talked about that one. So Mary Mallon.
I know the rough idea of the story, but
the thing about Typhoid Mary is she was a caretaker for these wealthy families, and she had typhoid, but she carried it. She didn't show any symptoms. So everybody that she came in contact with got typhoid. And
she made food for everybody.
Yeah, she made food for everybody.
And she didn't wash her hands or some shit.
And she was on the run in going under these different aliases and shit, and getting all these people
spreading typhus.
So eventually,
did she work at a restaurant at some point? Or maybe that was just a version of the story.
I don't think it was a restaurant. I think it was working in homes for families.
Yeah, she cooked for folks.
So
I would hope she didn't get a job at a hotel. That'd be fucked up for her.
When apprehended in 1915, she was sent to an island, North Brother Island, for 23 years, the rest of her life. That's where she lived.
Damn, by herself, or was it
by herself?
Wow. Yep. So did they? I guess it will send you to an island, and
if I
give her any assistance, or were they just like, "We're going to abandon you"?
Give me an island. I want an island.
There you go.
Yeah, if I have resources to stay on that island. Otherwise, I don't want to be like Tom Hanks talking to a soccer ball. Fuck that.
I mean, look, long as I got Xbox Live, I'll be cool.
we got the flu epidemic in Europe and the U.S. 1917 to 1919.
Spanish flu.
Yeah, this is while World War I is raging as well. Estimated to kill 50 million.
Wasn't this one of the largest?
Prompted quarantine
50 million?
Oh, yeah. That was a rough
across the world
for fucking
serious?
The world.
And that was just 2 years?
Yeah, and World War I was happening.
Wow. I didn't know a lot of people.
I didn't know it was like 50 million.
Think of all the troops who were, had their limbs blown off and they're stuck in a hospital, and then the Spanish flu starts spreading around.
Oh,
You're laying there without a leg, and then you get the fucking flu and you cough yourself to death. When it's just like, why did you tie my legs off and just let me bleed out like an honorable man, you fucks?
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
Rough patch.
Rough patch, bro.
Those
are. I mean, what was the population of the at that time? If 50 million were killed off.
Okay, so population.
So we can see how much. I mean, how big of an impact it was. I mean, 50 million is a big number. If we lost 50 million people today, it'd be or in 2 years right now it would still be a huge number, but.
Yeah, it would definitely be more than the Ebola. I think the Ebola scare recently is the only one that kind of got to where started getting a little like, oh fuck, because Ebola still sounds way scarier than the coronavirus, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well the coronavirus.
I should call it the Smith coronavirus.
All right,
I agree with the meme. They should have called it Kung Flu.
Let's talk about the coronavirus. So. As of Wednesday, some 6,000 cases have been confirmed in China, its country of origin, with at least 132 fatalities.
Fatalities, yeah.
It spread to more than 15 countries outside of China, 60 cases in Asia, Europe, North America, and most recently the Middle East. No deaths have been attributed to the virus outside of China.
Of China, yeah.
So just to kind of compare this, the seasonal flu, by comparison, kills 290,000 to 650,000 people per year.
Shut the fuck up!
And really?
Yes.
Is that all over the world?
Read those numbers again.
290,000 to 650,000 per year, according to the World Health Organization. In the United States, the mortality rate among people infected with influenza is about 0.13%. The Centers for Disease Control has calculated.
Over millions of people. That's a lot of people who fucking just die of the flu.
It is contagious.
I'd rather go out like Kobe, helicopter crash.
Not nearly as deadly as everybody's making it out to be.
Not nearly as deadly.
Yeah,
no,
I don't get. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I was. Mystic made the comment that I was about not being here in a month or some shit. I was like, what are you talking about, man?
Now, let's talk about quarantines, though. And one thing that I never really considered is that quarantines actually might not be necessarily the best way to handle these things.
Yeah.
So, for instance, this guy in the New York Times, Howard Markle, he's a professor of history of medicine. And he wrote, he said that by the 19th century, many major cities in Europe and the United States had a lazaretto. So this is that thing that people went to outside of the city, a remote island or containment facility to isolate sick people. And the 1918-19 influenza pandemic killed an estimated 50 million people worldwide, 750,000 in the United States. So in 2007, he led a group of researchers, and they looked at 43 large cities that employed some combination of isolating the ill or suspected cases in hospitals or at home, banning public gatherings, shutting down roads, railways, closing schools. So all of the stuff.
No keggers.
All the stuff that's happening in Wuhan. We found that in the cities that acted early for sustained periods and that simultaneously used more than one measure, rates of morbidity and mortality were lower than in the cities that did not take such measures. We concluded that in the face of a severe influenza pandemic, non-pharmaceutical interventions should be considered to complement vaccines, prophylactic medication and treatment, though only as a last resort and only for a highly lethal infection because they are extremely disruptive to society.
I turned my head, but it was still too loud.
So the thing is, for something like the coronavirus, something that is not nearly as deadly as even the flu,
right. Or the Guinness virus.
Right.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you sure it's not nearly as deadly? Because let's think about this for a second. You said the flu kills how many? 285,000 to 600
to 600,000.
Right.
Okay, and that's a 0.013%.
Mm-hmm.
That means that there's a shit ton of people that got the flu. What happens if almost the whole world gets the coronavirus? 5% of them are going to die. That's 7 billion people.
Now, that is a good point.
5% is a lot.
That is a good point. I would say, though, that I bet there's a really good chance that the Chinese government is not reporting all of the cases of people infected.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I bet there's a lot more people infected than what they're saying at this point. So that is a good point. But is it better to shut everything down and kind of have everybody confined in this case? I don't know.
And if you don't believe us about China's reporting, watch our episode on, what was it, Ashtray?
The Chinese organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting.
Yeah. See? Segues. Segues.
Yeah, you want to find out about some shit that China ain't telling you about.
Back to you, Oracle.
But also, like you're saying that, being as China's not going to talk about it, another thing, too, is they know how to display what we're doing. Because there are plenty of media stories I've read where they're like, oh, China's really, taking a firm step this time, blah, 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 because they got criticized for how they reacted to SARS.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. SARS was kind of one of those things that was like, you heard about it in the news a lot, but I don't remember it ever coming to the U.S. and being an issue.
Yeah, there were.
I don't think it was an issue. I think there were cases.
Yeah, I'm sure there were cases. It'll probably be the same thing like SARS, where it's like it's some nasty version. Problem too is
some
that
version of the flu every 2 years. It's that everybody's this year's coronavirus.
Mutating.
A couple years ago was SARS. It was the bird flu before that. There's always some fucking thing, and it gets all around the news, and everybody gets fucking scared. I don't.
Well, the problem too is that this new flu, they all have to figure out what kind of a flu it is as soon as everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Wash your ass, people.
Yeah. It's like we got to study this flu yet and figure out.
Well, actually, they just reported that they were able to replicate it or something in labs, and that's the first step for them.
That's the first step
to figure out what it is.
Yeah,
exactly how to fight it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I probably overblown, and
like there's a show coming on. Like a doctor has to stop. Oh wait, never mind. There's plenty of those.
Yeah, yep. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Travel bans. I think that's a good idea for right now.
Especially from Muslim countries.
Yeah, right.
Go.
Just to wait for things to calm down, but I honestly
travel
don't
ban
think...
to China, like in the sense that it's not so much that we don't want Chinese people coming here, but think of how many people in the business side are bouncing back and forth like that, and it's like if they go there and then it's like they can't leave because they're stuck. That'll disrupt a lot of the market.
Of this dude whose wife and 2 kids are over there. She's from Wuhan. She was visiting her family and got fucking stuck.
Yeah.
So now they're fucking stuck indoors. fucking 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, it's got to suck. I'm gonna bring up some of these pictures here from the city, just so you can see. Kind
of
nice
Raccoon City.
That's a nice Guinness over your shoulder,
right?
Thanks.
Raccoon City.
But yeah, it's really kind of disrupted. Streets are pretty empty. Get these.
So there's basically like we're gonna go around to try to clean everything.
Yeah, they're gonna try to clean everything. You're supposed to stay off the streets.
Those are just sprains, right? Is it just like, oh, we had to stop construction?
Yeah. So
are you getting a fever? Oh God, that's an embarrassing photo. Touching your. Now this is that thing, right? About the hospital they're going to build in 6 days, right?
Yeah, they're going to build.
Why are cats in the street with their arms up and shit? What the fuck is?
They're exercising.
Oh,
I saw some of that video. If you have any kind of experience with, not that I've dug a foundation with a backhoe, but in the sense of like my dad's build houses and stuff.
Temperature checked.
Yeah.
Look how much
at a checkpoint.
Wow.
You have those backhoes all like that close together. Like that's just to fucking look like you're super busy. That you'll get in everybody's way.
Exactly.
That's not how construction works.
Right.
It's just like fucking ridiculous.
And
it's like, where are they digging it to? Oh, we're just like digging around here like a fucking sandbox. No trucks to dump it in.
And I guess there's a lot of criticism by people in Wuhan saying like, this is fucking all for show. You're completely disrupting our lives. You're shutting everything down, and it's just causing all this panic.
Yeah.
Which I tend to agree. But
yeah, my Stephanie just sent me a little meme. I haven't seen it yet. I thought it was pretty funny. I put it in the Facebook Messenger.
That's funny meme.
And you've experienced their culture, so I mean,
yeah,
you got firsthand.
Right. There's a lot of show. There's a lot of they're on the world stage.
Right.
How are they going to handle this thing? So, I don't know. We'll see.
All Asian cultures are kind of like that, aren't they? That first show kind of bravado thing,
Well, like, you could almost say, aren't all cultures like that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's
no,
true.
You're right. You're right.
When it comes to politics, or you might say, I guess the political head of a culture per se, not the culture.
Except for Great Britain.
But I guess.
Oh yeah. Now that they're like, no empire, no longer.
I guess one thing about China and their culture and also their government is, what the government says goes. So if they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to build this fucking hospital and we're going to make it look good in 6 days, that's exactly what we're going to do. And if it doesn't make any sense how we do it, I don't give a fuck. You're going to do it anyway.
You're going to be impressed by this press release.
How do you say eminent domain in Chinese?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You don't.
Doesn't matter.
You say, it means you got to chain yourself to your foundation and just have the backhoe kill you.
All right, so that's it for quarantines. Hopefully it doesn't turn into the T virus. We'll see.
You never know, dude.
All right, next up we've got the What's Sexy. This is where we tell you what's sexy in the world. And Teddy says Atari hotels are coming.
What?
Yeah, Atari. Or they're planning on building some hotels. Construction of the first hotel is going to begin in Phoenix, and it's going to be in this fall. I do travel, and I like hotels. and the idea of a gaming company hotel I'm real high. You're gonna have to work with me here.
Okay.
I do travel and I like hotels. Nice.
This works out for me. But it's supposed to be supposed to have state of the art facility, videos and stuff for e-gaming. For some of the games are gonna be retro themed. Some of the rooms are gonna be retro themed or futuristic themed. I'm really excited and hoping. I've stayed at some theme hotels. Some are a lot pleasant. Some are not. Most are not actually. Theme hotels are kind of then I'm hoping they'll get this one right. So yeah, that's it.
Teddy, that wasn't a thing. That was just an orgy. That was just an orgy at a Hyatt. Okay. That wasn't an orgy-themed hotel. Right. You know that, right? That was just an orgy.
And that's why I can never stay at a Hyatt again.
So is there going to be like
the old DoubleTree?
some sort of like where you get to bang Mrs. Pac-Man? Or you have a threesome with Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man?
Anyway, first one's going up in Phoenix. They got other ones planned for Las Vegas, Denver, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Seattle, San Fran, San Jose. Why would you want to bang Mrs.
You're going to be able to play it in an arcade.
Oh my God.
You go in and it's like the 7 swings and handcuffs and shit, and like wow, right? Fucking Mrs. Pac-Man and Pac-Man fucking costumes and like.
Right, in a big box.
This is not what I expected.
A big box of Purell wipes.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, I travel with my Xbox or my PS4 or whatever console I feel like traveling with. Sometimes I travel with both. Yeah, I do. It's not an addiction. It's just I generally have my son with me, and if I'm in the hotel room and he's asleep, I can't go anywhere. I can't lock him in a hotel. I don't want to lock him in a hotel room.
Especially since you have handheld.
That's not good enough.
Right, I do have handheld, but I don't have the sociability of Xbox. If say my son's asleep, I'm trapped in a hotel room at 8 o'clock. I'm fucking.
So
talking to
no, he needs to talk to his Xbox friends. If he's got to stay in the hotel room,
I mean, right? It's something to do. I mean, shit.
Anyway, well, one thing that I do is I have the Xbox app on my phone, and I use that to talk to my Xbox friends.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
You don't talk to your Xbox friends, you lying son of a bitch.
Okay, I talk to my Xbox friend.
I have the app too, but don't you ever say you talk to your Xbox friends.
All right. Also, at Microsoft, they are doing that xCloud thing where you will be able to.
I was thinking about getting a laptop with actually my girl's idea. Get a laptop. Microsoft 10, Windows 10,
right,
and using that.
What's that going to allow you to do?
So xCloud allows you to play your games on your tablet, on my laptop, whatever the fuck, and use all that shit. So Xbox Live and all that. So that should be cool. Maybe when they launch the new console.
Well, also they also have a lot of games on Xbox. If you buy a copy of it, you have a digital copy of it. So I can play. A lot of my games I buy are digital copies. So I can get a Windows laptop and play on PC, and that way I don't have to travel with the whole Xbox. I can just take my laptop with a fucking controller. So
now, does that work through Steam or does it like this own Microsoft portal?
Microsoft thing. It's going to be part of the Microsoft ecosystem with like Game Pass and all that shit.
You know what? That's actually also a clever idea to reinvigorate PC sales. If you think about it.
Yeah,
because I'm sure some people are like, a lot of people are just like, I just use my smartphone or my tablet for email and like my normal PC web stuff. Yeah. And then I play all my games on my console.
Right.
Honestly,
I think PC gaming is actually doing better now than it ever has.
PC gaming, sure. But I'm saying more like PC sales. Like, I don't think people buy laptops anywhere near as much as they did 10 years ago.
No, I haven't bought a laptop in a decade.
Right? Well, yeah, because that's why we can't see your fucking fat.
Exactly. Oh, you're so right. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's like people don't buy laptops and stuff anymore unless like they have real software. You know, sure, if you're a graphic designer or a photographer or something like where you need to have some real software use, but the general public anymore, a tablet or a smartphone is all they need.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's very true.
But now if you could have like your games, because a decent gaming laptop.
I do enjoy like some of the places we go.
It's gonna be easier than lugging a whole.
They have an HDMI plug that I can plug it into the TV or something. So
yeah.
I mean, that's still
I'm definitely. I guess. Well, remember Google Stadia? That shit, the cloud shit.
I heard about it coming out. I heard about it coming out, but I never touched it.
I guess it's fucking lame, and they.
Is it already out?
Oh yeah, it's already out. It
launched.
Yeah, it launched. But the thing is you have to buy the games, and they're like $60. It's like, well, what? what the fuck? Why would I, do that when I could just get it on Xbox or whatever? And that's the nice thing about the Xbox is when you have it, you can play it on xCloud or on your system, locally when you're back home. So I think it is really good. And yeah, the bigger screen for the laptop, that's how I would want to play it on the road, not on, on my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
So speaking of games, next up is me with A Plague Tale: Innocence. So this game is recently on the Xbox Game Pass lineup. I actually heard some really good things about this over last year when it came out. It was kind of an unexpected hit, and I didn't necessarily know what to expect.
Like a finger in the butt.
Yep. Yep. Doesn't get much better than that, except maybe a dick.
An unexpected hit.
But it is a stealth game, and it's a linear story. And I mean, I'm blown away by the quality of this game.
I've heard about the shit.
The story, the action, like
What's
it has
it called?
A Plague Tale: Innocence. It is fucking top notch. I mean, it is right up there for me, like Uncharted level storytelling, presentation, everything. It's actually kind of got this like really tight linear story, which I appreciate.
What system is this?
So it is on
Xbox
and PS4. I don't know if it's on PS or PC, but it is a Game Pass game as well. Outstanding. I cannot recommend this enough.
Really
this is
great. Now, is this just all cutscenes? There's looks like a little game.
No, there's some gameplay here.
Yeah, it's gameplay. It is fantastic, and it's got this really cool thing where these rats are like fucking like maniac, out of control thing, and you have to use the light to repel the rats, and it just
rodents of unusual size.
Not unusual size, just fucking unusual numbers. Yeah, but
she just cracked that cat in the head with a.
Oh, I see the rat there.
Yeah. Really good game. Highly recommended if you have Game Pass.
What's the size? You don't know how big it is?
I don't know the size. If I were to guess, maybe like 40 gigs or something like that.
All right, I'll check it out. I'll download it after.
It is a good fucking game, and the story is really fucking good.
Holy shit! You take out his light,
and the fucking rats came up.
Yeah. Oh, it's got awesome mechanics, and you get like all these like alchemy things. So you like make these different concoctions where you fling like stuff that will extinguish fires, or put acid on people's faces, or put them to sleep and shit like that. It's fucking awesome. All right, next up we have Mystic. What's your wet sexy? I don't have anything here.
I don't know. 5. No, I know what it is. Avenue 5. It is a show on HBO. It only has 2 episodes so far. But it stars Hugh Laurie. For those of you who don't know who Hugh Laurie is
he
House?
Okay.
Show House. That's a British actor. But he plays the captain of this ship. It's like in the future. It doesn't like say it's like an undisclosed amount of time in the future. But they're circling Saturn. They're gonna slingshot around Titan, and some malfunction happened, and it throws them off course. And it's a comedy kind of. It's made by the same dude who does Veep, or who started the show Veep. So it's that style. It's that style of sarcastic like humor.
Yeah.
And Hugh Laurie is fucking outrageously funny. Like he goes in and out of his own accent and shit. And there's a reason for it. It's just fucking the way that he plays this part is great. It's also got Josh Gad, who when you see him, you'll know who it is. But it's got the tall guy.
He played the snowman.
Yeah, he played Olaf in Frozen.
And yeah.
But it's funny. It's just got really good one-liners, like good sarcastic one-liners. So check it out.
Nice. Next up, we have Ashtray. Lev Parnas leaks his shit.
Lev Parnas. Yeah, no, it's just I love the the shit show. Even though it'll be interesting because it'll probably be at least 20 years before we really find out why, how all this stuff unfolded. Like, why did Lev Parnas wait till now, or did Lev Parnas have to wait to get like some sort of deal or something for his own ass for leaking?
I don't think he did anything for a deal. I think he did this to save his own life.
Oh no, I'm sure he did that. But why didn't he do it before the House portion of the impeachment was done, where like it could have been brought as another, just another piece of evidence?
That might have been calculated. But I mean, if you think about it, the reason, he dumped this because now, what's the point of trying to kill him? You know, he's not he's not a target anymore.
Well, yeah, that and
the information's out there.
It's got nothing to lose.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. But there's no,
it's all the snakes are now starting to eat themselves, So, right. Anyways, I guess I
think y'all are delusional about how many, how crazy these white people are. Y'all are delusional.
We're delusional.
Nothing's gonna happen to him. He's gonna escape out of this shit, and then in the election, he's gonna be like, yeah, they tried to put me in jail. Shit didn't work. Blah, blah. Trust me, man. These white people.
Lev Parnas or Trump?
I'm talking about the Trump people. Run for the fucking hills.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll fucking.
Dude, he's not like the senator. It's all partied up. They're not gonna do anything to him. Yeah.
It's getting to that point where it's like, especially with this stuff and these releases of even the audio where Trump is saying like, get her out, she's gone. About the Yovanovitch, who was what the hell was their position there? Ambassador. Yeah. So. Anyways, it's just sexy to see, like, because in nowadays, if you want to hide a conspiracy, you really gotta pretend you're in the 1950s. Like, everything's got to be written and then you eat it, like afterwards or something. Like, no digital trail.
Oh, you mean you don't put it on Twitter immediately?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or because nobody would be that stupid, right? Right?
This is like,
I'm telling you,
just like the Trailer Park Boys.
It's a whole bunch of look over here while I do this. I'm telling, I don't think the man is. I don't think the man is that stupid. He's got this Jerry Lewis thing he's doing. There's a whole bunch of look over here while I do some shit over here. I don't.
Trump, you talking about?
Trump is that stupid. The people pulling the strings aren't.
Yeah, I think he's fucking delusional.
I'm telling you, all right.
He's delusional, but he's got enough power and intimidation that his party is like, well, fuck, we'll go along to get along because the people still love him. Like, and what they, he has an authenticity.
Don't love him, dude. Don't.
With the population? Well, let's say 35%. Well,
35%. That is a sharp minority.
Right, but
don't say the people.
You think it's a shoe-in?
The mouth breathing Walmart fucking people.
Yes, I know. But I'm saying, like,
I go to Walmart.
I wouldn't put it past him to win again.
I think he'll probably win.
Right?
You know why? Because he's gonna fucking rig it again. Because it's even worse than it was in 2016. They're installing new machines into places with no paper trails on shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trump's fucking. He's a dictator. It's done. We're done. We're gonna die. I'm living it up, dude. I as much cocaine.
Better get me some of that fentanyl for my way out.
Blow my fucking heart up.
And another news, a Wisconsin man went on a rager. The road is open.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's that's what's sexy.
It took a turn. It took a turn.
Now I gotta say,
took a turn. I'm sorry.
All right, next we have Fuck What You Think. Okay. Mystic Kobe coverage.
Coverage.
It's a great list. So
I liked Kobe. Whatever. I mean, he raped someone, but that's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We could mourn his death. No, she was at some rest. I think she was like 19.
Oh. I thought it was like an underage person. That was the. Anyways. Yeah, no. But, she wasn't underage. It was just rape.
Whatever. It is what it is. She might have been fucking out for some money. I don't know. Cheated on his wife. I don't care about him as a person. He did affect the fucking world because of the way that he played basketball. That's fine. But do we really need to talk about him for 5 fucking days straight and not talk about the other 7 people that died in this goddamn fucking helicopter crash?
You know what? I'll counter you on that because I've seen 5 or 6 news stories now where it's like they're consciously there were other people in the helicopter and they're trying to do and they are giving some light on it, but it's also like you wouldn't even. If it wasn't for Kobe dying, you wouldn't know shit about any of those people on the helicopter.
If it wasn't for Kobe dying, there would have been a headline on Sunday that said 9 people died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California.
Yep, and
then we wouldn't have heard shit about it for the next fucking ever.
Yeah.
I get that part of it, but Jesus fucking Christ, man. You know, like, it was like this when Kurt Cobain died. Like, we get it. He's dead. Can we talk about fucking something else?
I still remember the Newsweek cover.
Anyway.
All right. Ashtray.
Love you, Kobe.
Wow, you guys are really fucking Kobeing it
We're
up.
gaming up on Kobe.
The Grammys killed Kobe.
Have something about
the Grammys.
Well,
my was
What?
Oh yeah, no. This is my theory.
We're gonna make the news tomorrow. Fucking
because it was literally like
that's Kobe.
Was it the date? Was it on Saturday or Sunday that he crashed?
Sunday.
It was Sunday morning, right? Yeah, that's right. So
ruin the Pro Bowl.
The thing is that the Grammys were Sunday
after they made the announcement, every celebration was about Kobe, which I get it. It's cool, but nobody wants to see reverse dunk a fucking ball through a fucking.
Pro Bowl sucks, dude.
My
Pro Bowl anyway.
Point is that the Grammys
I had on Sunday
were going into this show after this major scandal of accusations about how rigged the Grammy nominations are, and how like certain artists like was it Ariana Grande and
this is a stretch, brother.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
Are you really saying? Are you really trying to say that the Grammys hired somebody to fucking kill Kobe Bryant?
Oh yeah,
take the fucking publicity off.
No, I'm not. I don't really think that. But it's like that's my conspiracy theory is that like because when you watch the Grammys, like the Kobe thing became like what the Grammys were, responding to. It basically, how like the elephant in the room for the whole night.
They did it for the ratings.
No, I don't even think it's for the ratings. It's the fact that the elephant in the room going into this show was the fact that all of the nominations were rigged, and where it's like artists, some of the artists like Ariana Grande and who was the other one? That guy who looks like the Shaggy Dog.
I don't know. I don't watch the Grammys.
Oh, Post Malone?
No, not Post Malone.
There's another Shaggy Dog.
There's another.
There's the redhead from Ireland or whatever. Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Sheeran, whatever. So, anyways, because they
does look like a Shaggy Dog, actually.
Because they've won Grammys, years prior, it's kind of like, oh well, even though their actual album or song or whatever got enough votes among all the polling members, the head themselves can be like, but we want this new person in there, so we're just going to put them down. So that means like if we put them in the top 5, then that one of the top 5 has to get booted out. And so that was the big elephant in the room going into the show. And then it's like, how do you avoid having to talk about or address the elephant in the room of, rigging of your own award show? Kill a bigger elephant.
Oh my God.
Is that why you put that shit in the messenger?
Holy shit.
God, you are retarded.
See how it works?
My God.
You need some help, bro.
No, it's perfect. It was just totally.
Eddie just summed up that entire conversation in 4 words. God, you are retarded.
Just wasted 3 minutes of my life. I could have been hugging my son for that stupid fucking.
Come on, dude. That is pretty fucking far-fetched shit, dude.
I know it's not real.
Oh my god!
But I love the idea of it because it definitely gave them an out.
Did you think that up in the basement of a pizzeria?
Yeah,
right. When you're recording child pornography for Hillary Clinton.
Trying to find Hillary Clinton's sex ring.
All right. Next up, we got fucking Teddy. Keep that Kobe train rolling.
Keep it going, baby.
Kobe.
All right, so I've been seeing on Facebook these petitions to have him have Kobe replace Jerry West as the symbol for the NBA logo. I get it. He did die. I guess he didn't die before his time because he died when he was supposed to.
He finally passed, though.
Oh, that was.
I'm sorry.
That's selfish in his later years. But I mean, it's. I mean, I think there are other players better suited for it.
So, who is the symbol?
Jerry West.
Jerry West. How would Jerry West die?
Jerry West is not dead.
He's still alive.
So my point being is like, why did they choose him?
The reptilians didn't get to him.
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's fucking Jerry West.
He was great. Anyways,
that's like saying why is the Lombardi Trophy called the Lombardi Trophy?
Oh yeah, he was just some random guy they found on the street. Yeah.
I know he's not random, but like, I guess like for Teddy's point, like just because Kobe died tragically, does that mean it's like we got to take away? It's like deciding if like some great football player dies, we're going to change
the logo. Shouldn't be changed.
Yeah.
Say what?
The logo definitely shouldn't be changed.
Yeah. I agree. It should not be changed. Just leave it like it is.
Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. I get it. He died when he's supposed to.
It'd be the equivalent of, like, let's say fucking Tom Brady died in a plane crash tomorrow, and I'm just using him because in football, I mean, he's got 6 rings, whatever. It'd be pretty comparable. Being like, oh, let's change the fucking Lombardi Trophy to the fucking Brady trophy. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, what? No, that's fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's like a dishonor to Lombardi. Like,
right. You're just throwing that out.
Yeah,
I agree.
And the thing,
I'm like, fucking leave it alone. I mean, I like watching the nigga play basketball. It's cool. He's gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a tragedy, but I was when I first heard. All the news alarms went off. That's why I made that post on Facebook that if you want to avoid the Kobe memorials, come to the Baldwin Street meat raffle. This is because
are you still slinging meat in the bar, bro?
I thought he was raffle. I thought he was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be something like he. It just said Kobe dead was the big headline. I thought it was going to be one of those like, some motherfucker who's been using opioids, a celebrity using opioids that you kept it under the low until like caught up with them, like Tom Petty or Prince. Nope. I was like, damn, it's a helicopter crash. I'm like, damn, that's at least.
Were you upset it wasn't an overdose?
No. Actually, I was like,
the way you said it, you're like, damn.
Shit.
No. I didn't want him to be a junkie, but I guess I was being, just whatever. For some reason, I thought like it seems the way that these celebrities die. Point being is that he died in a helicopter crash. It's like an honorable tragedy. Like that's the way you got to go out.
Yeah.
It ain't Kobe's fault.
What is honorable about a tragedy?
Well,
it wasn't his fault, though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It wasn't
like,
his fault at all. It's kind of like Paul Walker. When he died, I felt bad because
he was just a passenger in his own
dude
car.
Some dude. I mean, it's his fault for letting this fucking idiot drive it, but you look at like the other dude who died in the same car, that fucking guy from Jackass. That dude just got drunk and ran into a pole. I don't feel sorry for that fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's
exactly
your fault.
Because I would hate to die by having like. It's just like, oh well, fuck! Look, Ashtray got drunk and fucking fell off the tilt-a-whirl.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah. We'd be sad, but we'd understand because that'd be something you'd do. But if it's
so, you're not. I don't think Ashtray's going to avoid
right. But if Ashtray died because he was on the tilt-a-whirl with me and it collapsed out of too much weight, I'd feel bad because I killed Ashtray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And your body weight
killed 8 fucking people, including himself, because he was flying in shit he shouldn't have been flying in.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say. I don't know for sure. Who knows?
Better watch out. The fucking reptilians are going to find out about your meat raffle.
I saw a headline.
Who buys meat at a fucking bar? I mean, shit. What the fuck is
Wisconsinite?
Wisconsinite City.
Jesus Christ!
It's wrapped in the deli. It's not like we cut and made the meat there.
Yeah, right. They just throw a steak at your face.
No, there's some guy named Earl downstairs.
You won.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I heard that it was only like 20 or 30. Oh, sorry. I was just saying it was only like 20 or 30 feet. If he would have been that much higher, that helicopter, it would have like missed that top of the hill that it clipped. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, that's
the way she goes. I think of Ray.
Fuck her, bud.
Way she goes.
Way she goes.
Well,
that's it, all right.
So then we have me. For fuck's sake, I just wanted basic information. So when I was on vacation, I walked down to this dive shop. I was inquiring about going out with Carolyn. We were going to go diving, and this guy's like, yeah, well, I'll give you a call later on today, get a boat set up and all this shit. Well, he didn't call me back for 2.5 days. So we made other plans. We were like,
yeah, right.
We're going to go fucking snorkeling and whatever. We're just going to chill out and save our money for other shit. And the guy calls me, oh, yeah, sorry, I had to go to the doctor. I had this injury. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Well, then he starts talking to me about this fucking advanced course shit. He's like, yeah, if you sign up online, you can come down and do it anytime. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'll think about it. Come back from vacation. Then I get an email like 2 days ago. Hey, man. Hey. Still interested in this advanced thing? I'm like, well, how much does it cost? Just so I know how much it costs. Well, it costs, it starts off at $150, and then there's some other things. Give me your phone number. I'll give you a call. And I'm like, nah. This conversation doesn't need to continue.
How are you communicating?
Right.
Email?
Email, and then he's like, yeah, I'll give you a call. Let's talk about it. And it's like, dude, I'm out of the state now. Like, I don't fucking... Sorry. I just wanted basic information.
You know what? Yeah, it's probably this time of year he's hard up for any work.
Right.
Come on, so please. Yeah. And people right now, like, it's slow in my shop, and we get these fucking calls and emails from people. It's just like everybody's trying to get any work they can because it's just slow everywhere.
Right. So, yeah, that's it. In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Jack Off, Tennessee.
Jack Off, Tennessee.
Jack Off, Tennessee.
Oh. It's a real place because the whole state is fucking just...
You been to Nashville?
I still have not been to Nashville.
Don't come. It's a horrible city. They can't drive. They're all slow-speaking retards. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
There you go. That's our show. We're going to be on here every Wednesday or Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You can try to Twitter or twiddle us or whatever.
You can't Twitter. I've got like 35 dick pics on there.
Nope.
All right, trust me.
That has died on the vine. Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Oracle.
I'm Mystic.
This is Ashtray.
Yeah. I was gonna wait.
Boom.
Fuck it, it's almost February and I'm Teddy. I don't give a shit. I could be last.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Give a shit.
I think traditionally, before we started rotating hosting, you were always last, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, that dick pic thing is